This one's from Rye Onion on YouTube. I'll stick it down below anyway so you can see that. And he said, this is a guy, you know, he said, though I'm drunk writing this, I caught myself craving alcohol. Though I was 2 weeks sober, I thought, what will a shot or two hurt? Now I'm drunk a few hours later with college classes to attend soon. I really do appreciate your help towards others. I need to watch these sober. But I will not be a lesser man than admit I am a very proud sober man. When I'm sober, I don't think drinking is a big deal, nor do I have a problem. Sober, I'm terrified of a life without drinking forever. But drunk, I realize I have a problem. I could get into my family background and my past to why I think and act this way. It's easier to say the excuse. I need help stopping. I have to not go to my classes now because I'm too drunk. How can I stop this bullshit? Sorry, pride. And wake up with a sense. I clearly need help. What is your advice for this hardcore dysfunctional mindsets to help make sense? To be honest with you, first thing, you know, like if you watch these while you're sober, if you see this answer, then, you know, watch the videos while you're sober. You get a lot more out of them. I don't think you're going to get much from a purely from retaining any information that you hear in these videos or any other videos. You're not going to hear. You're not going to retain much. You're not going to remember much if you watch them while you're drunk for a start. The second reason is because of the way you perceive the videos. I mean, I remember when I was drunk and I used to do the same things. I'd start thinking about my drinking. Towards the end now, you know, like I've drank for a long time. You sound like you're a young guy. You're a young person. I don't think there's any indication whether you're a man or a woman, but I presume you're a male. And I've been doing it an awful lot longer. And towards the end, when I really saw my drinking as a problem, I started looking at videos when I was drunk, and I started going to forums when I was drunk, and I just made a fool out of myself, really. And I didn't really. It's like what you said in your comment, that when you're sober, you don't really see things as a problem at all. So another reason for not watching these videos when you're drunk is because you're going to see things from an emotional perspective, and when you're thinking about quitting, you're obviously contemplating doing it. But if you need to see things as positively as possible. I'm not one of those people that looks at life and says that you have to look at everything positively. I think there's times when you have to see the negatives, but you have to see the positive side of the negativity, if you know what I mean. And if you're watching videos like this when you're drunk and you're seeing, you listen to what I'm saying or whatever anyone else is saying, there's a chance that you could start beating yourself up, and that's not good. That's never going to be good for you. So, really, you need to sit down and think about your problem when you're sober. You need to sort of get a realistic grip on things when you're sober. It's only then that you're going to be able to make the proper decisions that you need to make, and it's only then that your decisions are going to stick. Really, I've been there where you are, thinking about the pain when I've been drinking, when I am drinking, but then once the hangovers wear off and stuff, and I'll go back to my normal thinking then and think, well, the same thing. What will a pint or two hurt? It's not going to hurt at all. But it's not about the alcohol. It's about, if it wasn't for the alcohol, it would be something else, It's about dealing with situations, whether that situation is just pure boredom, whether it's socializing, whether it's fitting in with what everyone else is doing, whether it's anxiety or pressure or whatever. it's a tool at the end of the day that people use to fix these problems, but it doesn't fix anything, you know. It just masks, you know, like I say, you sound like a young guy, or at least a young person, and you know, you guys are the hardest to coach because you're not feeling the big symptoms. You know, the big damage probably hasn't been done to your body yet, and the hangovers are probably not lasting as long as somebody who would be a bit more mature or has been drinking for a lot longer time. So even though you see the problems and you understand that you've got the problems, you know, once you sober up very quickly afterwards, you don't really see it as a problem anymore, you know. It's easy to go back and go, well, yeah, I mean, I can go through this thing and I can cut down and I can control it. And you know, I've seen this time and time again in my own life and in other people's, from other people's comments, from other people's stories that I've heard, that is just one of the stages that we all go through. It's that trying and attempting to control the alcohol, and it's the nature of the alcohol, the nature of the beast. I think when sometimes a lot of people in their 50s and 60s tend to start controlling alcohol because they have to, you know, not because they see that they've got a drink problem, but because the symptoms of drinking are getting that bad that they have no choice. I mean, before my dad stopped drinking, now he was in his late 70s when he stopped, he couldn't drink as much anyway. You know, his hangovers were just getting almightily bad, you know, for him. So, you know, I think when he did stop, it was an easier decision. I guess what I'm trying to say is that, you know, you have to sort of look at what not drinking is going to benefit you more in the long run. I mean, if you're skipping classes because you're getting drunk, then it's not a good thing. Imagine what you could be like, or what you could achieve if you were going to your classes and just in general in life. You know, I hear this thing all the time that, you know, people say, well, you know, I'm a functioning alcoholic, and that, you know, I'm successful in my life apart from this. I have success in my business, I have success in relationships, I have success in just all these different areas in life, and yet they still drink 4, 5, 6 days a week and drink until they get drunk most days. So it's not a question of, you know, you're successful in this despite what you're doing, despite your drinking. Imagine how much more successful you would be if you didn't drink at all. You know, if you got alcohol out of your life, if you didn't use any drugs, you know. And it's taken me 30 years to realize that you know, the thing that's been holding me back all these years has been the alcohol, has been the use of drugs, of dampening my mind and restricting my thoughts, and just fucking up my brain, basically, you know, fucking up my body with, for what? It's all getting your gratification now, getting what you need in the short term, in payment for long-term pain. You know, you're always going to have to pay for the stuff that you're doing to yourself. Do you know what I mean? You know, when you say that you can't imagine what life would be like without having a drink in your life, then that's all in your head. You know, and like I say, it's taken me 30 years to realize that all the fact of going out and partying, and it's all in the head, it's all in the culture, it's turning things around so that you can live life without alcohol. I mean, you've turned it around in the first place so that all these things revolve around alcohol. So it is turning things back around and living and going back to where you were before, not literally or physically, but in terms of getting alcohol out of your life. You know, whatever aspect of your life you look at, it's going to be better without drink. Take for instance dealing with other people. It was one of my biggest fears, was how can I socialize when I stop drinking? How do I go out? And I don't know any other way. I don't know any other way than having a few drinks before I go out. Even that's the level that I was at, and now I love it, you know. And if anyone wants to come toe to toe with me now and challenge why I'm not drinking, or challenge my manhood or anything like that, you know, and call me a sissy, or, you know, say, well, you know, that try and defend their normal drinking, bring it on, you know, because I'm quite capable of putting up my own defense. I like going out and drinking water. I like going out and enjoying other people's company, and I love remembering things. You know, going back to my holiday in Alicante at the weekend, I remember everything for a start. I didn't wake up every morning like I would have done in the past with a dirty, stinking hangover. And I didn't need to break the bank. You know, it cost me nickels and dimes to eat out, and, you know, it cost me half the amount as what I would have paid for a night out. You know, just having a meal and a few, albeit drinking the Cokes, which is another story, but cost me half the amount of money. So life is good without alcohol. We just presume that that alcohol is the thing that makes life interesting, and life is going to be boring without alcohol. What bullshit! Alcohol, you know, life without alcohol is only boring because you make it boring. You know, if you think outside the box a bit, and you know, one of the reasons why a lot of people drink is because it's so easy to do. It's a fix-all sort of solution to any problem. You know, you feel anxious, you have a drink. You feel tired, you have a drink. You feel bored, you have a drink. You go out and you feel insecure, you have a drink. It's an easy way of doing things. So when you stop drinking, you have to face these things head on, and you have to start thinking about them. And, you know, generally once you do start thinking about these things and start thinking about how you can deal with your problems, you will find solutions which are more, how would you say, they're more, I'm slipping all over the place here. This is all real dusty stuff. It hasn't rained here for ages. Sorry, they're more geared towards you. You know, your solutions will be more aimed at yourself, about, you know, what you want in life and what you need in life, instead of the big all fix-all problem, which is the solution is not going to be a solution. It's not a solution to anything. Rambly. You know, so when I go out now, I don't ever try and interfere with anyone else's drinking. If that's what they want to do, that's fair enough. And I don't expect anyone else to interfere with me. You know, like, I don't drink, and if that's a problem to anyone else, then, to be honest, fuck them. You know, shut up about it. I don't want to hear it. You know, it's like, if you've got a problem with it, then you've got a problem with it, you know. I don't have a problem with it anymore. I don't have a problem with you drinking. If you want to drink, then, you know, fair enough. I feel sorry for you, because you're still in that trap. You're still in that bullshit mentality of thinking that this is a normal thing to do. Whereas I'm not. And I'm not saying that to boast or to say, well, you know, I'm cleverer than you or anything like that. I wish I could, you know, there's several people in my life who I wish I could say, yeah, these are the words that I can say to you now, and it will make you go, oh shit, yeah, right, I get what you mean. And it would turn you into a non-drinker. And, you know, those are the closest people in my life, but I can't do that. There is no words that I can say to do that. I don't know if I'll ever have those words, but look, what can you do? And, you know, you said another thing as well. You said that you have a hardcore dysfunctional mindset. You know, and I don't agree with that. You're sort of building it up. You've got a problem with drinking, period. That's the way you should look at it, you know. It's just a problem with alcohol. It's a simple problem to solve. You stop drinking, period. Then you deal with your life. It's much better to try and deal with these things when you're sober and when you're not poisoning your head and you're not under the influence of any drugs, when you're thinking straight, than trying to deal with them when you're drunk, you know. So did I get that the wrong way around? Anyway, that's it for now. If you have any questions at all, give me a shout over on the website. If you haven't signed up to the newsletter yet, go over and sign up to that. I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Onwards and upwards.